Okay, welcome to part two of this structural simulation tutorial. In part one, I showed you how to set up all the physics inputs, including the different hinge supports, the distributed force on the hub, the joints between these bodies, as well as specifying the contact between these bodies. So we're ready to solve. One thing before solving I'd like to point out is that the default material for structural simulation is structural steel. Okay. So we can, of course, change this, but in this particular case, I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. So now we're ready to solve. You'll notice the SID, or the simulation information display, at the bottom of the screen is yellow. That means it's ready to go. Okay. So to solve, all you have to do is click the green solve button. Now, in analyze mode, the software is running on the CPU using the Ansys mechanical solver under the hood. Okay, so in the analyze mode, we are doing a more high fidelity detailed simulation with additional physics, which is the purpose of this tutorial. Okay, so the additional physics we defined are things like contact, joints, and eventually we'll apply some local mesh controls and things like that. Okay. Now, you'll notice the SID shows a green progress of the simulation. And when that green line goes halfway around the SID, that means the mesh has been generated. Okay. So you can view the mesh by clicking on this icon in the results arc, and it will show you the mesh that has been automatically generated. Now, we use Ansys meshing technology, and by default, it will attempt to apply refinement in areas of higher curvature, as you can see over here. And this is a good default mesh for this particular problem. Okay, in certain areas like here, you'll notice that the mesh is relatively coarse, but the purpose of this initial simulation is to see where the high stresses are, and then we're going to apply a local mesh refinement to get even more accurate results in the areas of interest. Okay. Now, while the solution is running, you can spin around, you can inspect the mesh, and if for some reason the solution or the mesh is not to your liking, you can always click down here to pause the simulation, apply some, mesh controls and rerun the simulation. But we're not going to do that. So we'll let it run, and you can see that the progress bar, the green progress bar, is almost all the way around the simulation, the SID, sorry. So let's just give that a couple more seconds and we can take a look at some results. Okay, in about a minute or so, you can see we have the initial set of results. By default, we're showing contours of displacement or deformation. You'll see a message down on the SID, which I'm going to click on, which says that it's displayed some initial deformation results, but additional result variables are being computed. So you can just ignore that message for now. And then let's take a look at the results that we see so far. So this is displacement, but really I'm interested in stress. So to change the variable that I want to look at, you can just click here and let's switch to von Mises stress. Okay. Now, let me turn the mesh off by clicking here. Okay. Let's just give that a second. Okay, here we go. And we can see where the high stress areas are. And we can also animate the deformation by clicking here and clicking on the show animation. Okay. So if I change the view by clicking on the triad, you kind of see the exaggerated deformation being shown. Okay, so this is not the real deformation, this is exaggerated deformation. And as you might imagine, because this assembly is constrained at these fixed locations that I'm highlighting here, a lot of stress is in the lower A arm. So let me pause the animation and turn off the deformation. And you'll notice you have high stress over here. Okay, so I can mouse over this location, and you'll notice on the legend on the right, it tells me what the stress values are where my cursor is, which is pretty handy. Okay. Now, this is displaying results on all the bodies, but I can also display results on just a particular body by simply clicking on that body, right click, and saying show result on selection only. Okay, just like that. Now, I want to direct your attention to the model tree. You'll notice when I have simulation results, I have an additional icon. It's this kind of rainbow colored icon, and it shows you which body is being used to display results. So it's pretty obvious which one that is. And I can right click and say show result on all bodies, and you'll see how the rainbow icon in the tree indicates that all the bodies are being um, used in the display of results. Okay, just wanted to make you aware of that. Okay, now let's take a look at the mesh again. So I'm going to click here to show mesh, and you'll see that the mesh is relatively coarse in this area of high stress. So I really want to refine the solution in this area. So how do I do that? So I'm going to turn off the results by clicking on the contours icon, and I'm going to turn the mesh off or hide the mesh. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these faces right here. Okay, so let's just rotate. So, let's pick these four faces. This seems to be where the high stresses are. And same thing on the other side. Okay, so you see these four faces. And then on the ribbon, you'll notice I have some additional options. So I'm going to click on local fidelity control. Okay, and you see the HUD here. It's a little bit hard to see, perhaps kind of blended into the background, but I can specify a value for fidelity. And fidelity is just another way to say local mesh refinement. So in this particular case, let's apply a fidelity of 1 millimeter. So 1 and automatically converts that to 1 millimeter. Okay. And if I hit escape 2 times to exit the heads-up display, you'll see on the physics tree, I have my fidelity adjustment setting, and it's 1 millimeter, and it's in that location. Okay, so all I have to do now is click solve again, and what it's going to do this time is, of course, remesh the geometry, resolve with the inputs that I've provided, and we can take a look at a more refined value for stress in that location. So I'm going to pause the recording here and come back to you as soon as the results are done. Of course, you can see the progress bar has gone halfway around, so I can actually view the mesh at this point. So you'll see the mesh on all the other bodies are the default, but we have a much finer mesh in this area, which is our intention. Okay, so I'll pause the recording and we'll come back as soon as the solution is done. Now, this second simulation might take a little bit longer because your mesh is a little bit finer, but that's natural. This is a perfect time for you to go grab a coffee or a donut or whatever you want. Okay, the simulation's almost done. This took about a minute or 2 minutes on my computer. It might take a little bit longer or a little bit less time on your computer depending on your machine specs. So let's just give it a minute more to display the results. Okay, here we go. You can see the results displayed. And let's zoom into that area of concern. You can see the finer mesh results in a much smoother solution in that area. You can turn the mesh off, of course, and once again hover your mouse over that area to see what the values are locally. You'll also notice on the top right corner we have these engineering insights, and let's take a look at Max von Mises stress. So this chart is basically showing you the two different simulations that we ran, right? And you can move the chart wherever you want. The first triangle is design point 1, which is the maximum stress that was calculated based on the first simulation with the coarser mesh, and the second one is the result from the finer mesh. So it's not a huge difference, but it shows you, the refinement of the mesh resulted in a slightly different solution. So, you might want to do one more level of mesh refinement to make sure that the answer is not changing a whole lot. Okay, so you can close this anytime you want and collapse this over here. So there we are. So a simulation of a assembly of a generic race truck suspension using two different mesh settings and using these different supports that you see, the hinge supports, the distributed force, the joints between these bodies, a fidelity or mesh refinement, as well as specifying contact between the bodies as well. Okay, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we highly encourage you to look at the other tutorials in the series as well. Thank you very much.